So, have you ever recorded a perfect backing track only to find you can't sing it due to a limited range, like my 3-note range? Well, obvious solutions would be to re-record it with a capo or modulate it, but that can change the sound of the guitars drastically, and not for the better in some cases. So, all isn't lost. Studios can modulate it without losing your speed, but again, it might sound different with the instruments themselves. I don't know about piano, but guitar definitely, it can be made better by capoing or modulating, but generally not. The depth of the open strings has its own special relatability that usually works with the song, the way it was written. So, and second choice is to get someone else to sing it, if you can find anyone. And one thing I've tried a few times with success is to write a whole new melody in the key you can sing with the same chords and use your original melody either as a harmony with a falsetto vocal or a deep vocal, and or a flute or another guitar line doing your original exact melody. That creates kind of a unique tone and might even turn out better than you expected. So it's unique if nothing else. Then I found one trick I did. I could sing the verses and choruses perfectly of a certain song, but the bridge was either too high or too low. In either way, I started it out. So I got the bright idea to modulate just the bridge. So I transposed it to a different key and worked perfectly. And it flowed from the song perfectly. It was almost as if it was written that way. But getting back into the third verse was a nightmare. So I modulated it too, but just not as much as the bridge. That was kind of interesting. So there's 3 keys in this song, but they flow perfectly. I guess they're kind of related, so it's not that surprising. But try things like that. Anyway, I ended up with a better song than I started with, just because I was forced to modulate so I could sing the bridge and then escape back into the song somehow. So there's a couple tips for songs you can't sing. If you're a songwriter, after a long enough time, you're going to accumulate so many songs that you think you'll remember them, but maybe you won't. It's good to write down the date it was written to, just for fun, and reference to see what else was written around that same time when you get old enough to look back on that. And I often mistake even what year I wrote a song occasionally, and I'm surprised to find it in my notes. But writing finger-picking songs that are fairly tricky, remembering them is one thing, but getting them after like a 7-year break, which has happened, and I decided to play a song again and I can't remember it. Thank God I have cassette tapes of all the old things and CDs and streaming of the new ones. But I began writing songs out in tablature. It's pretty easy to do. It's just literally an aerial view of the guitar neck, and it shows which frets and which strings to play. And it's a guide. It's not perfect, but it's a guide to remember the little chords you might forget. That comes back to haunt you if you don't do that, as I found out. So now I do it all the time. And I don't play some songs for years at a time. Others I play weekly. So it's the long timers. You think you'll remember and won't. Another thing I do is I photograph that lyric sheet or chord sheet, tablature, any notes I have really, and email them to a dedicated email account. Gmail's free. Open up something, just put your songs in there. You can even put links to recording, whether it's on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Spotify, or just from your own email. And Instagram, that's kind of handy that you can actually hear your stuff if you link to it. Dropbox is where I keep a lot of my songs, so that link is what I use when I email it to myself. But I email all the lyrics, tablature, the date it was written, chord progressions, any notes I might have about instrumentation. I even write down what tape or CD or Dropbox it's in. all the little details, how long it lasts, and then yeah, you can email it to your friends eventually. If you need to look it up, an old song, boom, there it is. Just go to the index and search. So I highly recommend writing everything down, photographing it, and emailing it to yourself for quick reference, one at a time, so you can look it up in the index and actually find the thing. And that's the name of that tune.
There's so